Dear ones, everything seems topsy-turvy. What you once knew to be true or acceptable is no longer, and what you would like to feel or be part of seems nebulous. Even though you do not necessarily like what you are experiencing, nothing else seems relevant, interesting, or fun. You experience moments of laughter and connect with others, at least peripherally, but have not yet found your inner home. Such is so for a reason. New energies are flooding your being to the extent that what was interesting is no longer including what was enjoyable even minutes ago. You want this, no this. So it continues as your inner being refines its needs and interests. These shifts are confusing and aggravating because you cannot make long-term plans. Just as you begin your mantras or wishes, something in your life changes to nullify that need as you evolve into a new you. This evolutionary process began eons ago when you accepted the assignment to shift Earth from fear to love, a process that accelerated when you began transitioning in this lifetime. What is happening now could be considered a warp speed realignment of your inner being and your physical aspects. What was is no more, including your cellular structure, blood flow, and bone density. You are a new being, shifting moment by moment, much as would be true if you were to take inner photos of a newborn through their 18th year. Your current growth spurt is more rapid and inclusive than any you have experienced while of the earth in this or any lifetime. So just as would be true for an infant shifting into a teenager within hours instead of years, you find yourself scattered, wanting to do this, know this, over here or over there. You are confused and sometimes angry. You are evolving at warp speed, and your need to know what will happen merely confuses and stresses you more than is necessary. No one knows for sure what path you will claim as your own, any more than parents do when observing their newborn infant. As a 3D adult, you most likely claimed your 3D path some time ago, and even though that path might have deviated here and there, it was relatively established. That path was demolished with your assistance. You are now establishing your new place in this lifetime, a place that is perfect for you. To achieve that wondrous goal, you must experience many pieces you once thought did not apply to you in your world. As you experience those pieces, you discover what you wish to take with you on your new journey and what no longer feels right. You are allowing many pieces into your being as a test pattern, if you will, maintaining some and tossing others. Those pieces include human interactions, physical dynamics, and emotional and spiritual elements. Perhaps an apt example would be selecting the right outfit for an important gathering. The outfit must fit your body, meet your emotional needs, and be within your budget. So it is for you now. Do you wish to expend energy delving into this piece or that path, or do you want to rest or ignore everything until you feel more comfortable? This is a confusing time, for your emotions will not necessarily achieve your goals, nor will your physical body. It is a group effort throughout your being in which each piece or element needs to feel right, something you have never before attempted while on Earth, because 3D social rules emphasize rightness within your social world before meeting your personal needs. That equation has been flipped in ways you struggle to understand. So you wait for someone to do something only to discover no one cares as much as you about that specific action or element. And at each turn of your inner being, you discover another piece of who you wish to be. As you slough off your 3D sense of rightness, you are currently at a loss for how to feel centered, a short living, confusing time. This short-term adjustment will be refined daily until you know who you are and why you are who you are, something others cannot and will not emulate. So allow yourself to be confused, perhaps even angry, as you discover who you are. This discovery process will continue for the next few days, only to allow you to become one with this new earth, a short-term shift into the framework that is new you. You have prepared the groundwork. Now it is time to put up the frame. Even though you will fill in the remainder as you continue to evolve, you cannot fully determine your path without a concise and stable framework. Your new framework will be complete in the next few days. You have eliminated your dimmer switch. Now it is time to formalize your new framework, and so you will. So be it, dear ones. What does the soul know at this point in time? Do you know? Does it know all it needs to know, or just enough? But what if, due to the agreement, less is now known than what was known upon entry here? How would you know? What do you believe? How might you confirm what truly is? The agreement. You see, there was once an agreement entered into that wasn't all it might or should have been. This original agreement has more recently been altered so that more might be for those who newly enter into this platform of awareness. They enter in with a revised understanding, as the understanding originally utilized was flawed. Let us say that it was not all that it needed to be. And so, the agreement that was originally put into use had shortcomings. It was that the small details were not ironed out in advance, and this was not discovered until more time had passed. It is that we seek to reach those here by the terminology used to ferret out who is who here. We seek to find those who need to be off and away from those things that do exist today. We seek for them to find us and recognize that they have a means of exit here, the elders, a soul's remembering and immersion. So what have you wanted to know? What have you pondered? Do you think about this or that? Or is this or that of no real measure? You see, the soul entered into an agreement. The agreement referred to here changed how the soul sees things. Because of the immersion aspect, they opted to engage. So, what is immersion? It is where a slow amnesia entered in. This slow amnesia causes them not to remember as they once knew. They were told through immersion that they would have a more pure experience, that they would discover in a way that would make this immersion option preferred. And so many, if not most, opted to enter this earth experience in this way. My soul also chose this option, as those they sought to locate had chosen this too, and upon entering as they did, they would understand this facet more than were they not to know, as these others did. Your soul is immortal. They are divine. That will not change. But what they knew before entering here, well, that is not remembered as it once was. In the recommending and implying, the more significant realization implied was not that. This was perhaps suggested in a way that was misleading, and it was because of the immersion aspect and the lack of remembering that they and you remain. In the small clarification of understanding they sought to know and ascertain, less has been garnered than more. So, in our next book, Given in Love, a series of questions were asked and answered. This was done to share a bit more than what is known today. It does seek to ferret out what is what and is meant to be the pathway to discover more. Know that what is shared there is not fully known here on earth. Yes, components of understanding do exist, but many understandings are filled with falsities. Discover what truly is when you can still and slow the mind. Release beliefs now so that more can enter in. How can anything new become adopted when it goes against beliefs held?